If you do this on a first date, she's already decided there won't be a second one. And the worst part isn't that you messed up. The worst part is you'll never know the exact moment it ended. There's no argument. No awkward goodbye. She just pulls back. Slightly colder. Slightly less engaged. And you leave thinking, something felt off, without realizing it was already over. Most men think attraction dies because of looks, money, or saying the wrong thing. That's not true. In reality, it comes down to one small behavior. So small you've probably done it dozens of times and never questioned it. But women pick up on it instantly. Subconsciously. No logic. No analysis. Picture a normal first date. Coffee. A walk. Casual conversation. She's listening. Smiling. Asking questions. Everything seems fine. And that's exactly why this moment is dangerous. Because you relax. And then you do the thing that quietly kills attraction. You start rushing. Rushing to talk. Rushing to explain yourself. Rushing to fill silence. There's a 1 or 2 second pause, and tension hits. You feel like you need to say something. Add context. Clarify. Fix it. So you do. I didn't mean it like that. What I was trying to say is, I'm usually not like this. Maybe I explained that wrong. You don't even realize you're justifying yourself. To you, it feels normal. Polite. Reasonable. But to her, it lands very differently. She's not listening to your words. She's reading your state. And what she picks up is simple: this man is afraid of losing my attention. He's uncomfortable with silence. He's trying to control how I see him. And the moment you try to control her perception, control is already gone. Here's the part most men don't understand. She doesn't consciously think, he's weak. She doesn't label it. She just feels the shift. The tension drops. The interest fades. And the decision is made quietly, long before the date ends. You can still look put together. You can still sound intelligent. None of that saves you. Because attraction isn't logical. It's visceral. And the second you start explaining yourself without being asked, you signal instability instead of strength. What makes it worse is what usually happens next. You try harder. You talk more. You joke more. You push for engagement. And every extra effort digs the hole deeper. Because now you're no longer leading the interaction. You're reacting to it. And that's how most first dates actually die. Not with rejection. Not with conflict. But with a silent internal decision she makes before you even say goodbye. This behavior hides behind what most men call being normal. You think you're just being clear, polite, emotionally aware. You're not pushing. You're not being rude. And that's exactly why you don't notice the shift when attraction starts slipping away. Because it doesn't drop suddenly. It fades. She stops leaning in. Eye contact shortens. Her responses get tighter. Nothing dramatic. No obvious rejection. And this is where most men make the fatal mistake. They try to compensate. They explain more. Talk more. Try harder. But attraction doesn't disappear because of words. It disappears because of state. The moment you can't tolerate silence, you reveal that you need her reaction to feel grounded. And the second you need her response, you stop leading. You start depending. Women sense this immediately, even if they can't explain it. Here's what breaks most men's mental model. Women don't want perfection. They want stability. A man who doesn't collapse when there's no instant feedback. A man who doesn't rush to repair imaginary damage. A man who doesn't chase approval the moment tension appears. Picture this. You make a comment. Maybe a joke. Maybe an opinion. She pauses for 2 seconds. Not because she's bored. Because she's processing. And in that space, you have a choice. Let the pause exist. Or panic. The moment you panic, you abandon your position. Without saying it out loud, you communicate, "I need you to validate me right now." And she feels the shift. The center of gravity moves away from you. You're no longer the one setting the frame. The irony is that many men who do this are strong in other areas of life. They're competent, responsible, respected at work. But on a date, they switch roles. They start selling themselves. And wherever they're selling, attraction disappears. Attraction doesn't grow from trying to be liked. It grows from the internal stance of, "I'm fine either way." Until that state is real, no phrase, tactic, or strategy will fix the problem. Because she's responding to who you are being, not what you're saying. This isn't about forcing silence or playing aloof. It's about not rescuing a moment that isn't broken. When you speak, stop. Let the space do its work. Tension lives in that space. And without tension, there is no attraction. Most men fail right there. In 2 seconds of silence. And those 2 seconds cost them the second date. The solution looks simple, but that's why it's so hard. You don't need to become silent. You don't need to act cold. You just need to stop explaining yourself when nobody asked. Stop justifying things that don't need justification. Stop fearing the silence. When you allow the pause, you immediately regain your position. You're no longer reacting. You're simply present. You're not chasing approval. That shift is instantaneous. She feels it. The center of gravity is back in your hands. Here's the part most men miss. A pause only works if you're calm inside. If you're silent but panicking internally, she can sense it. This isn't a technique. It's an internal permission. Permission to not be liked. Permission to be awkward. Permission to not control her reaction. This is where the real shift happens. When a man stops trying to manage her perception, he becomes stronger. He doesn't sell himself. He doesn't explain. He simply exists. And that presence alone triggers attraction faster than any clever line. Women say they like confidence, but few men understand what that really means. Confidence isn't a loud voice or flashy dominance. Confidence is tolerating silence without cracking. Being yourself even if the reaction isn't instant. Not chasing validation in the moment. Here's the paradox. When you stop fearing loss of interest, you actually increase it. She senses that you're not clinging. That your life doesn't revolve around her judgment. That you're fine whether this becomes a second date or not. Most men don't get it. Trying harder kills attraction. Trying less, being grounded, lets it grow. Attraction isn't effort. It's state. State doesn't come from tension. It comes from inner calm. From that point, your behavior changes naturally. You speak less, but sharper. You joke without rescuing the joke. You share opinions without trying to win approval. She engages. She asks questions. She leans in. Because now the dynamic is yours. In one sentence, attraction isn't lost because you said the wrong thing. It's lost because you fear the silence more than losing her. When fear disappears, strength appears. And women respond strongest to strength. In the next video, I'll show the exact gesture that works in reverse. A gesture that instantly increases attraction, without words, without techniques. If you want the follow-up, comment, second date.